Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Wow. Avengers Infinity War. I literally just watched it an hour from now. It's so late at night. But I gotta get this out. And this is gonna be a non-spoiler review. I still have to collect my thoughts for the spoiler review, which is probably tomorrow. So this is just me, possibly like a little light review and reaction. But first reaction is, my God, this is a great movie. This is a Marvel movie that is very ballsy. Okay, they went there. You know how I said I'm afraid they won't ever go there. I mean, Avengers 4 they could flip it around again, but for this movie, if it's just from beginning to end, they went there. Yeah, and I commend them for it. I commend them for it. I really enjoy how dark this was. The desperation is apparent in here. I love the fear when Thanos and his goons show, like just that little bit of silence. There is no music, nothing. It's kind of like when the aliens first appeared, the ship first appeared in like Independence Day. You know that feeling. It's quiet, it's ominous, and that factor, including the end and things like that, those silent moments, it just really gets you, and I really dug that. I love how it took time at the end, where it would have been a quick ending, but it took time with it. And I don't want to get into spoilers till tomorrow, but Thanos is an excellent villain. I did not think they would put a lot of depth into him. But, because from how he was in Avengers and how it was in the beginning, even in the beginning of Infinity War, it was very simple. Like, I'm here to rule the world, and, or I'm going to destroy the universe. But they put in the why. They have a lot of that relationship with him and Gamora. There is that relationship there, and you a little bit more of the story. So and it's kind of funny because as the movie goes on, I'm like rooting for this guy. It's kind of like I can't wait for him to get all the gems, right? I can't wait for him to get all the gems. I'm rooting for the guy, and well, the ending comes up, and you're like, whoa. Your own, well, at least mine has changed. It's almost like man, it's really hard to talk about this without spoiling. I mean, there's so much stuff going on in there, and I understand why people would say it's kind of overstuffed. It's a little bit things happening around, but it's still easy to flow with it. You realize which group is going where and what the purpose of that group going where. I think maybe it was there are some moments where they just hang on to a joke too long, but because, like, I was afraid when people start falling, right? The bodies start going, right? They'll get right to the joke, and I'm so glad, so happy they didn't do what they did in Thor Ragnarok. They let it sit. They had those moments. There's a little bit of moments, but it was fast enough to get you to the next section to know the feeling of urgency. And by the time of the ending, the ending was, it's all about the ending, man. This movie, it's all about the ending. Everybody. The audience, I think there were some people who were pissed off. Okay, I understand, because you don't know what's happened, but there are people who are like, huh, what? And it's all quiet. But there are also people like me who were just in shock. We're like I knew it was gonna happen, okay, but the way it happened, the slowness of it, the it's slow, but that's what makes it good. You know what I mean? And so when it dumbfounds you at the end, and I'm looking around and I see people are like just solemn faces. In fact, before I went into my showing, the first batch of people that came out, they all were like walking out like zombies, like what the hell, you know? Sorry. And you'll get that, and it's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool to get that from a Marvel movie. I think they've really changed it. You know, this is a different Marvel movie than a lot of people are accustomed to. I bet they were going in there for a lot of laughs, and they're going like, the heroes are going to make the heroes. And then when the movie ends, they're like, what the... You know? So I'm really satisfied with this movie. I think this is one of the best Marvel movies I've seen. I want to watch it again. And... I gotta say, Thanos, he's the best character in this whole movie. He's just downright the best character in this whole movie. I know it's weird to root for him, but you kind of do, and then it's like you feel for him even towards the end, where it's like, what have I done, type of thing. So it's like, it's so cool. I mean, it's so different. There's so much in about him that makes the whole thing matter a lot more. I know I sound like I'm speaking of riddles if you have not watched this movie, but I'm trying to tiptoe my way around spoilers. And it deserves a watch in the movie theaters. I think they really worked the CGI better than I've seen in the trailers, so it feels more seamless and stuff like that. The story, and I know they said the story is more about Thanos, and it is, maybe for the last 3/4, I think, but for the most part, it's about you have these little sections of getting to know the heroes and what they're doing, what have they gone to, how they meet up, and yeah, when the Guardians are there, that's when like most of the comedy is. I wish I kind of wanted more Steve Rogers, Bucky together. Maybe a little more. I felt like maybe the Wakanda battle was a little rushed. Like there was no setup. Like, you know how they prepare themselves and stuff like that. That it just went right into invasion. And I wish there was a little bit more on that. But I understand the urgency of it. But all there's very little things that here that I don't have. I have problems with. I think. I mean, there's some stuff like Scarlet Witch, what happened to her accent, but anyway, so it's so much stuff going on here. There's a lot of different characters, a lot of characters that we wondered where they don't show up. Like there's no controversy, you know. I mean, not controversy, but there's no secrecy there. There is a cameo, a sort of a character we haven't seen in a long time, and that was surprising. But for the most part, it's a pretty simplified story. It's not really the heist story that they were trying to play to us, but it really is. It's not quite Thanos' like, he's not. I know they say that he's the main character. Yeah, sort of, but it is his mission, right? So, and instead of not focusing on the hero. I mean, they do focus on heroes, but because there's so many heroes. But instead of like, okay, if you watch a movie where the bad guys, say like James Bond movie, right? You focus on James Bond and you barely see the bad guy, or bad guys revealed at the end. So you know who the bad guy is from the beginning, and you're on that journey with him. He is the one going on a quest, right? He's the one going on a quest. And so I think because of that, you feel like your root for him is like, I hope he wins. And then you kind of feel like there's some consequences there. So anyway, but it is a high stakes in this movie. They're not wrong. stuff goes down in this movie. Whether or not it is rectified in Avengers 4, that remains to be seen. But as of this movie and how it ends, and it is boom, it is big. Like, it's big. It's big. So anyway, that's it. I know it's very riddled, this weird non-spoiler review, but I just wanted to get this out for today. And hope to see you back tomorrow. I'm gonna collect my thoughts when in bed and tomorrow, and try to get you a good spoilers review. But from then on, I hope you guys get to watch Avengers, and if you've already watched Avengers, you know that there's very little thing I can say without spoiling anything. I know. Alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Go and watch Avengers Infinity War. I'll see you next time. Bye.